Well, now on ET Now, we have our experts today, Kunal Bothra as well as Rajesh Agarwal. And to all the viewers who are tuning in, a very happy Dhanteras from the entire team of Buy Now, Sell Now, as well as the entire ET Now family. So let's get on board our first viewer query. And this one has come from Jayant. And he's saying the stock price of Laurus Laboratories as well as Happiest Minds are falling with each passing day. Could you please suggest whether to exit these stocks or hold? Rajesh, I'll come first to you on this one. Either Laurus Laboratories or Happiest Minds, you can pick which one do you want to talk about. Jayant has already invested in these companies. What should he do? Do you think that he should look to exit these counters or stay put and not panic given that there is some sort of a correction in these companies? And also, happy Dhanteras to you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Shail. Happy Dhanteras to you and Alex, both of you, and the entire 18 Now team, including our viewers. As far as Happiest Mind is concerned, I think the company is on a very strong footing. They have very good order book. They have good presence. The management quality is good. The only thing it's correcting since last so many days is just because of the valuations have become straight because of the kind of stellar run the company has taken after its listing till date. But there's nothing wrong with the fundamentals as such. If somebody has got a view of maybe 12 to 18 months, one can very well hold on to the stock with a medium to long term view.
Okay. We're back on WhatsApp, by the way, and I think quite a few of you are continuing to send us messages. There are quite a few that are pending because we were not active yesterday. But I'll take the first question from Mr. Parthasarthi, who's writing in from Chennai. Wish you a very happy Diwali as well. Kunal, this question is for you. He's holding 300 shares of Coal India at levels of 225. He's wondering whether he should hold, sell or average at this current juncture.
So I would recommend to average at current levels. I believe that the prospects for many of the PSU stocks is quite strong over the medium term to long term, and I believe that many of these stocks like Coal India, I think, has broken past above its multi years of downward sloping trend for itself. So I think on the back of it, there could be much better prospects lined up for Coal India. I think at 165, 170 levels where the stock, I think, corrected yesterday, it's a good base, it's a good support for the stock at those levels as well. So I would suggest to average, and I believe over the next 6 months to 12 months, if this rally consistently improves for the PSU stocks, you should probably expect Coal India to hit back about the 200 mark, which should be above your net average price as well.
Okay, this one is a query from Soumitra and this is on Sequence Scientific. He's saying the stock is down once again, would request a fundamental and a technical view. Whereas on the other hand, Kaustubh also has a question on Sequence Scientific and he's asking, is it a good time to enter this counter considering the results were not very bad? There was margin pressure across that we are actually seeing companies as well. So what's your take, Rajesh? Sequent, do you think that Kaustubh should look to enter at this juncture, and also what's your advice to Soumitra because he's already holding Sequence Scientific and he is quite worried because the counter continues to fall.
See, what I feel is after the change in management, the numbers have been pretty good and the stock has given quite a run up from its lows 1 or 2 years back. And at this point of time, the valuation looks stretched. I think one should better off be getting rid of the stock with few losses and switch to some other names. Maybe it would be a better strategy.
Okay. This next one also for you, Rajesh, and this one's from Lakshman. He's asking among the alcohol stocks, which one is the best pick for the long term? He's mentioned United Breweries, Radico Khaitan, and McDowell's. United Spirits, I think, also can be added to the list. What's the view here?
See, we are quite bullish on this sector as such because these have got quite a positives going forward, especially United Spirits, that's McDowell. And we believe that after the change in McDowell,
All right, I think we have some technical glitch on that particular front. Let's move on with the next query then, and this one is coming in from Niranjana Arvind. Planning to invest in the textile industry, which is a good stock to invest in for the longer term? Is it Wellspun or Gokuldas or Arvind? I would request my producer to, if we have Rajesh, can I take this question to Rajesh on the textile sector? Okay, Kunal, then I will come to you. Maybe I'll leave this one for Rajesh itself. Then I'll come to you for another one, Kunal. This one is Sapna, who's bought Radico Khaitan 60 shares at around 1,115 rupees per share. Wanted your advice on what should she do with this current holding with Radico Khaitan, Kunal?
So, Cheryl, I think it looks that the entire liquor space or the brewery space looks very attractive on the long-term charts. We've seen Radico doing exceptionally well, and I think if I'm not wrong, it's been one of the much better performers from the entire liquor pack as compared to even the large cap names like United Spirits, etc. in this last 14-15 months. So I believe that the stock has been one of the most stronger performers, and looking at the charts as well, I don't see any reason why the stock can get into a patch of an underperformance. Yes, it's going through a patch of correction / consolidation because it's been more or less in tune with the entire market structure as well. But I think the chart patterns are very attractive for Radico, and I would suggest to hold on. I think if it's possible that the stock comes back, say closer to the 1,000 mark, you can look to even average further.
Okay. Rajesh, you were making a point on United Spirits, United Breweries. Quickly, which one is the pick? And then I have another question for you. Rajesh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Rajesh, you were making a point on United Spirits and or the alcohol stocks. Which one is the pick, very quickly, and then I have another question for you.
Right. We can go with McDowell and Radico for a medium to short term. I think these can be held for a maybe time horizon of 1 year. Around 20% from the current market price is quite possible despite the stellar run.
Okay, the next question for you is from Pradeep, and this one's from Chennai. He's holding 630 shares of Sumitomo Chemicals at a price of 413 rupees a share, and he has lost a little bit of ground. He's wondering whether to hold on to the stock or book losses, and wondering what the future for agrochemical industries is.
Is it for me, Alex?
Yes, it is for you.
Yeah. It's a very good stock to hold for a medium to long term. Yes, it's not performing from the last 6 months or so. It's a very laggard. But fundamentals are very strong. Agricultural space is doing well, going forward also with the kind of focus of government on agriculture space as such and the rural economy. I think these kind of stocks are going to do well, maybe a Sumitomo or a UPL. These are very good bets for a medium to long term.
Okay, it's a hat trick for Rajesh. This question also is for you, Rajesh, and this one is from Niranjana. Planning to invest in the textile sector, which of these counters are good ones to invest for the longer term? She's checking on Wellspun, Gokuldas or Arvind.
See, I would like to add one stock to this list. The Vardhaman Textile, that's one of the best stock I would say in the textile space. It's with the kind of expansion going forward, strong balance sheet. The kind of demand this company is having, not only from domestic but international market also. This company stock can be bought for a medium 20% upside from the current market price. As far as the list given from the lady is concerned, I think Wellspun India stands very strong out of the three.
Kunal, next one's for you. Ramchandar from Hyderabad is asking about Biocon. He's bought at levels of 399. He's wondering what to do.
Time to average Biocon at current levels. I sense that many of the pharma stocks are going through a process of a very strong and a steady recovery. In fact, Biocon as well has made a very good bottom around this 325, 330 odd mark just about a week or two back. And I think from current levels looks attractive for at least another 10% on the upside. So If you are in from a very short term view, then I believe at 350 odd levels, you could look to average Biocon and keep a time frame. If it's a very, very short term, keep a time frame of at least 1 to 2 months and look out for levels of 380 to 400 as a potential near term target range for Biocon.
For you, Kunal, this one is from Marion Portman, holding 15 shares of HUL at around 2,450 rupees per share. Should I sell or continue to hold? What are the targets coming across the charts? Can I hold it for the next 3 months only? What's your take, Kunal, on HUL?
Well, I would suggest to hold on to HUL. Even though the stock has gone through a sharp 15% correction from 2,800, 2,850 to 2,400 or just thereabouts where it's trading. I still believe that many of the indicators have come back to oversold territories, and we've seen this time and again for HUL as well, that it has a tendency to try and correct when the market gets into a bit of a choppy phase, and then it starts off its own uptrend, leading to the entire resurgence for the FMCG pack as well. So I think at 2,400 levels, there could not be a much better level to try and chip into HUL, and since you've already bought closer to these current prices, I would suggest to hold on to the stock at least for the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay. The next one's for you, Rajesh, and this one's from Venkat. He's got 3 mid-cap names, Coforge, Mindtree and Emphasis. He's asking which of these look good for the long term.
All 3 are good stocks, no doubt. The numbers have been pretty good going forward also. We think that the companies are going to perform well, but when you ask for only one of them, I think Mindtree would stand out. In chronological order, if somebody has to say, I would say first one would be Mindtree, second one would be Coforge. So you can buy any one of them. Maybe some amount of correction might be seen in the short term, but for a longer term horizon, all these stocks are very good.
This one is from Maleshwar, holding Just Dial at 1,075 rupees per share. Should I continue to hold, exit or average? What's your take on this one? Kunal, what should Maleshwar do with Just Dial?
Sit or book out of your holdings over there. It's a very, very sideways kind of a stock. And, it's just very, very rare that you see these stocks participate and start a strong uptrend. I think it's time to switch on to, larger cap or quality, IT stocks. So I would sense that in that sense, you can look at, something like Wipro or maybe a TCS at current levels from the larger cap perspective, and from the mid cap name, I think something like Tech Mahindra or even Mindtree at current levels could actually turn out to be good bets from a longer term view.
Okay, we've got a viewer from Thiruvananthapuram who's Vipin. He's asking about KC International. He's holding at levels of 544. He says that he's facing heavy losses. What should he do, Kunal?
Well, I think, I would sense that the structure for the stock on long term is quite attractive. Even though in last 2 weeks, it's corrected from 550, 540 to 450, 455, where it's currently trading. I would sense that it could be something to, impact with maybe some sort of a news flow surrounding the stock or the expectations from results. But I believe that, it's a good time to try and look at these stocks when they go into a 15 to 20% correction on the very short term charts. And I believe at current levels of 450 odd, it should be a good opportunity to try and buy KC, provided your time horizon is, at least 12 months to 18 months or higher than that.
All right, now time for the rapid fire. Both of our experts are pretty well versed with this particular part of the show. So let me get started with it. And first one is for you, Kunal. This one is from Sailaja on NBCC. She's holding some shares at 55 rupees per share. Wants to know whether she should continue to hold or exit.
I would suggest an exit on NBCC. The stock has been an underperformer. In a sense, it could probably remain very much the same over the near term as well.
Kunal, Jubilant Pharmova is the name of the counter, bought at levels of 590. Sunil wants to know whether to hold for a year.
Well, I would suggest to hold. In fact, look to average out as well. The stock has come back to corrective zones. Seems to be a good level to average out and hold out for another 1 year plus.
Okay, this one is from Shanmuga Sundaram. 50 shares of MCX purchased at 1815. wants to know whether should add some more to this counter. Rajesh, what's your take? MCX, does it make sense to add some more?
Of course, yes. With 85% market share, trading at less than 30 times odd, I mean, I think it's one of the good bets.
Okay, Indian Overseas Bank is the name of the counter. Just trying to find the share price. But the viewer is asking, he's bought at levels of 80. Vijay Lakshmi, who's a home maker, she's asking for a technical view, Kunal.
Well, I would suggest to exit such counters and look at quality stocks. I think you still have Federal Bank, SBI, Bank of Baroda at current levels, which look far more attractive. So I would suggest a switch.
Okay, this was from Padma Balan, 500, around 100 shares of LG Balakrishnan purchased at 510 rupees per share. Should hold or switch to any other counter? What's your take on this one, Kunal? What should Padma do? LG Balakrishnan, if you track it.
I do track the stock, and I would suggest to hold on to the stock. It's nearly a big break, so I would suggest hold on the stock.
Okay, Loris Labs is the next counter, Rajesh ji. 70 shares bought at levels of 402. Manas is asking whether to hold on.
It has corrected from almost 700 odd levels to it's trading at less than around 500 odd levels. So I think almost the correction has been over. One should hold.
Okay, I'm slipping in one more, and this one is from Mr. KR Balan. Wants to know whether it makes sense to enter PSU banks at this level, and if yes, makes sense to look at Indian Bank, Bank of Baroda or Canara Bank. What's your take, Rajesh? Do you think it makes sense to invest in PSU banks now?
Of course, I think in the next 6 to 9 months would be dedicated to PSU banks. SBI and Bank of Baroda are two of our favorite picks.
Okay, I see a lot of names. Sriram, we've got Prajwal, we've got Mr. Ram Reddy, we've got Vignan. Thank you so much for writing in, viewers. Unfortunately, we're out of time on this segment of the query part of this show. Rajesh, thank you so much for joining in. Kunal, as always, thank you so much for taking the time. You've been incredibly helpful. We're slipping into a short break, but more on the other side, so do stay tuned.